Folks, 7:15 Wednesday night, 28th of November 2012. Moon's conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. I'm kind of waiting to see what today's brought for the world. I'll be really interested when I wake up tomorrow to see what's happening. So let's do something on the Moon in Gemini. I seem to have been caught up in doing these analysis of different moon signs, so let's do a little bit on the Moon in Gemini. Just for the uninitiated, those of you that know my stuff by now will get this anyway, but from my perspective, the moon in the sky, the moon in your horoscope, stands for the ways that you feel. It describes your emotions, your reactions. It's to do with your inner feelings, your intuition. It's your personality. Gemini, in my opinion, is possibly the hardest place in the sky to have the moon. Please, for those of you with the moon in Gemini, don't take this personally, okay? But traditionally, the hardest places for the moon are Capricorn, because it's opposite Cancer, and Scorpio, because of its opposite Taurus, where the moon is exalted. But I find that the moon in Gemini is actually probably the hardest of positions, because basically the moon's about feelings and emotions, and Gemini is about thoughts and intellect. And I've yet to meet a Gemini moon character who doesn't react when I tell them that they've got to stop trying to understand why they feel the way they do. They're always caught up at the mental level going, oh, why do I feel like this? Why am I reacting this way? Always trying to understand themselves through the use of thought. Well, guess what, folks? The feelings and emotions are not something that can be described by logical, rational, analytical, detailed, functional thought. They can only be experienced as a sense that cannot be lucidly defined. And this is the curse of the Gemini moon. Why do I feel this way? It's never enough for them to feel, they've got to understand it as well. As they get older, Gemini moon people stop looking, they tend to blend. And they tend to blend the intellect with the emotion, the mind with the feeling. And as they get older, this translates to something that switches from the non-stop verbal diarrhea, the incessant chitter-chatter, the budgerigar on caffeine, you know, and instead stops looking so much at the meaning of individual words and instead graduates to the philosophies that lie behind the words. Unfortunately, this often doesn't happen until they're approaching 40. I often say to clients that life begins at 40, only when they get to 50 for me to tell them that I lied, that life really begins at 50. Now, okay, there you go, there's the moon in Gemini. Personal point. These videos have been fun, and I'm going to keep doing them. But something's going to happen for me in the next couple of days. Something I've been keeping really quiet about. So watch this space, I'll be making a proper announcement tomorrow. No, Friday, definitely Friday. Watch this space. Catch you tomorrow. Good night.